Austin,
That's
Texas.
cool.
We love it. Let me show you what's going on with your forecast here. Happy Thursday. Radar is quiet across the entire state of Texas right now. Temperatures, as mentioned, colder than yesterday. I would grab that heavy coat this morning as we're seeing widespread upper 20s to low 40s. The majority of us in those 30s, but Austin at 41, the cold spot being Llano out in 28. Most of us falling in between that range. But as you can tell, we're going to see a nice recovery with these temperatures. Although it's cold out there now, I'm expecting the afternoon conditions to be quite pleasant. High of 66, which actually puts us a little bit warmer than normal. Underneath that, mainly sunny sky to mostly cloudy sky. We're going to see this intermittent cloud cover not only today, but tomorrow as well. So you'll get some peaks of sunshine. You'll also see those clouds passing through. Obviously not going to hurt the warm up with everybody in the 60s today. But as we look at those skies, you can see the high resolution model expect things to cloud up heading towards lunchtime. And then once we get towards later afternoon, a little bit more sun. And then those clouds are going to actually start to come back overnight. We see a mix of mostly to partly cloudy skies for tomorrow. Low rain chance possible tomorrow with a little bit more of that moisture coming in along the southerly flow. In fact, we're going to see the northeast wind this morning start to turn more southerly by the end of the day today. But that south wind is more established tomorrow. So that's when we're going to add in just that 10% of a few sprinkles for your Friday. Then we get into the weekend, and the weekend looks real interesting because that Arctic cold front is a little bit earlier, I think, with the timing than what I was showing you yesterday looking at this morning's data. So I've dropped your Saturday high to 60 because if that colder air is arriving sooner, we're not going to reach all the way into those mid to upper 60s like we previously thought. High of 60 Saturday. Sunday, temperatures get stuck in the 40s, gusty winds, so the wind chills are likely not going to leave the 20s and 30s, but we will see sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. It's not until early next week do we start talking about the potential for some wintry mix. So what are we looking at here? Well, the coldest air of the season so far starts Saturday, continues all the way through Wednesday. Coldest day looks to be Tuesday as our highs won't leave the 20s. As far as the wintry mix potential, I'm at this point thinking Monday night. So the later part of MLK Day into the overnight hours and Tuesday morning is when we have the highest chance of seeing the potential for some wintry mix, but it's still too early to define whether that's going to be freezing rain, sleet, snow, or just cold rain. Models are still hinting at the fact that we could see some snowflakes briefly here in the area Monday night, but I also have another model keeping it total rain. So we need to wait just a couple more days before we start fine-tuning that forecast regarding precipitation type, because there's a little bit of warm air kind of mucking up my forecast as we get into Monday and Tuesday, but the cold is a guarantee, and that's what we really need to start to prepare for, because we have 3 days of 60s, and then you'll notice Sunday afternoon highs down to the 40s, but we have several hard freezes ahead of us next week. Hill country probably won't get out of those freezing temperatures on Tuesday. Chance of some wintry mix beginning late Monday, continuing Tuesday, drier skies expected by Wednesday. Sally?
Thank you, Kristen. Lawmakers are back to work at the Texas Capitol for the start of the legislative session.
Yeah, KXAN's Sarah Alshay reports there's a push by some to prioritize improvements within the restaurant industry.
Let me show you what's going on outside this morning. We begin with Marble Falls, also another gem out there in the hill country. We were giving a lot of love to Fredericksburg earlier, but hey, don't write off Marble Falls, right? Blue Bonnet Cafe. That slice of pie is going to change your life. A look outside shows clear conditions at the bottom, not so clear up top. We do have some high clouds in the mix, 39 degrees, variable winds. And in general, those winds are going to stay less than 5 miles per hour. However, they're going to turn more out of the south this afternoon. That is an important part of our forecast because that southerly wind helps warm our temperatures up. It's also going to throw a little bit more moisture at us for a low rain chance tomorrow. But we begin with temperatures this morning colder than yesterday with widespread 30s, if not even some spots in the 20s out west. Today looks to be a day where you want to get outside and enjoy some of that sunshine peeking through those clouds. A high of 66 actually takes us a little bit warmer than normal. I don't think we're going to see a bright blue sky all day, but there will be times where some of these clouds thin out, especially getting into the after lunchtime hour, where you will see a good amount of sunshine. But intermittent cloud cover will be the trend today, and we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. Tomorrow, probably more clouds than sun, but there will be a low rain chance in there. This high resolution model is not showing it, but I've got a couple other computers supporting the idea of, hey, we could see maybe 1 or 2 spots of light rain to finish the work week. Nothing to rearrange your Friday over. That rain chance is at 10%, so it's very low. Pollen count this morning showing mold a little bit higher than yesterday, but otherwise we look pretty good. Both cedar and mold in the low category. High temperatures quite comfortable today and tomorrow, given the time of year. But Saturday is going to be an interesting day because the new data really starting last night, but even some of the model runs this morning showing an earlier arrival of this cold front. So we've started to drop that Saturday high. There's not going to be as much time ahead of the cold front to warm all the way into the upper 60s on Saturday that we were initially thinking. So we're starting to cool it down. Really, the bulk of the cold air will be next week. It starts Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Things really start to get cold. Here's what's interesting, though. There's still a lot of uncertainty surrounding the wintry precipitation chance. Computer model number 1 has some snow in the area beginning MLK late evening into the overnight hours before it clears. Computer number 2 is saying, no, this disturbance doesn't roll in until about Tuesday, Wednesday, which would put this mostly as cold rain and about a day and a half later. So I am going to stick to those precipitation chances starting on Monday, but clearly we've got some fine tuning to do once we get closer. In the meantime, you can count on today and tomorrow being quite comfortable. Gusty winds ahead of the cold front Saturday and behind it Saturday night into Sunday. Low precipitation chances beginning late Monday, continuing overnight into Tuesday. Still too early to be talking about precipitation type, as that's largely going to depend on the timing. But highs will be very cold. That is a promise, with these overnight lows just brutal. 20s as far as hard freezers go. And I will tell you that 29 degrees Sunday morning will feel more like teens, if not even some single digits with the wind chills as we start Sunday. So something to keep in mind if you've got plans then. All right, that's a check of your forecast. Let's get you back over to Tommy with